Hello, and welcome for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing the second recipe from the Blackberry Pie Murder. It is called Treasure Chest Cookies, Lisa's Aunt Nancy's Babysitters Cookies. It does look like a quick little throw together recipe. You're going to preheat your oven to 350. For the cookie dough, you're going to want half a cup salted butter, room temp, 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. You are also going to want the treasure. It says well-drained maraschino cherries, chunks of well-drained pineapple, small pieces of chocolate, a walnut or a pecan half, a 1/4 teaspoon of any fruit jam, or any small soft candy or treat that will fit inside your cookie dough balls. I am literally using cookie dough candies. The topping, 1 cup powdered sugar. So you're going to mix up the dough, and then it says to form them into logs, and then cut the logs, and then cut your cookies from there. I'm actually going to try to see if I can just scoop it and then pop the candy in the center and just kind of form it around the candy. I think that'd be easier than logging and cutting and forming from there, personally. But I'm going to try it and see if it works. If not, I'll do what it says, split it, roll it, cut it, hide your candies, and form a ball. It does say to cook them on ungreased cookie sheets, but then in the next section it says, I use baking sheets with sides and line them with parchment paper when I bake these with jam. If part of the jam leaks out and the parchment paper contains it, and I'll have a sticky jam on my baking sheet or the bottom of my oven. I'm just going to use my silicone mats regardless. I just find it easier. It does say you're going to bake them and then let them sit for 5 minutes, roll them in powdered sugar, let them cool off, and then roll them in powdered sugar again. Only other actual notes on this are at the very end of the recipe. It says, I tried putting a couple of miniature marshmallows or half of a regular sized marshmallow in the center of my cookies for the treasure. It didn't work. The marshmallows in the center completely melted away. And then it also says, I'm going to try my treasure chest cookies with a roll of Rolos next time I make them. Herb just adores these chocolate covered soft caramels. He wants me to try the miniature Reese's Pieces too. It says you should get 2 dozen delicious cookies that both kids and adults will love to eat. So with that, everything's laid out. Let's get started. This is everything I'm going to need for these cookies. Okay, so the first thing we really want to do is put our butter and our powdered sugar into a mixer. And we're just going to beat those together until they're nice and smooth. Alright, when you have that, we're going to mix in our salt. And then the milk. And the vanilla. Just going to scrape down the sides real quick. And then you're going to mix the flour in 3 parts. It's only supposed to make about 2 dozen, so the amount of dough isn't too concerning. I would say, I don't know, if it's going to make 2 dozen, it doesn't look like that much. But this isn't a high yield recipe. So I have my little candies. And like I said, this is the part where you would roll it out, divide it into 4, and log it. Like I said, I wanted to try just simply doing it this way. I don't really see the need to log it. Maybe if you were like filling it with like a jam, I can kind of see that being an easier task. But this seems to be working really well. So this is what we ended up with. It says to bake these for 18 minutes. That seems crazy. But we'll see then. Okay, so it says to take half of your powdered sugar and your cookies and just kind of roll them in while they're still warm. It said to give them 5 minutes to cool off before doing the first rolling, because you're supposed to roll them twice. They don't feel hot enough for this to melt. Like, I'm thinking maybe I should have let them sit for, I don't know, maybe no more than 3 minutes. Because generally you let the cookies sit on the sheet for 2 and then you transfer them. I think at that point is when I should have done the rolling. But we'll do this. Let them sit a couple of minutes to finish cooling off. Because like I said, these are not very warm. And then we'll roll them again and we'll bite into one. You can kind of see on the bottom the chocolate piece I put in there. You can totally see it on the bottom. I am surprised these didn't spread at all. That was one of my worries about them, was I thought they would spread flat and then the cookie pieces would be sticking out of it. So that's kind of nice that they didn't really feel like they spread at all. Alright. And now we're just going to wait, like I said, maybe like 5 minutes and then roll them again. So like I said, these weren't, after 5 minutes, really warm enough to melt the sugar. Coating them a second time kind of seems pointless, but I'm going to do it anyway. So these are definitely, if you're going to make them, I would let them sit on the sheets for 2 minutes, and then when you take them off, like a normal cookie recipe, I would just roll them in the sugar then, and then give them maybe 5 minutes to finish cooling off, and then roll them again. But this second coat, the way their instructions read, kind of is very unnecessary. This is our finished product. Okay, so essentially it's a shortbread cookie with a treat inside. Personally, for how dry the cookie is, they either need to be baked less, or they need something with more moisture to be in the center, like a caramel candy or something. While the cookie dough bites are good, it doesn't really give the cookie, it doesn't really add anything to it personally. But they are good. I would stay away from nuts. I would definitely stick with like a fruity center, like the pineapples or the cherries, or maybe like the Rolos. Maybe like a chocolate covered M&M. Eat them. I would definitely, like, if you're making this for something and you're not just doing it for yourself, I would make like 2 or 3 batches, and in each batch put something different, and then it can really be like a treasure chest. Because then you're not knowing what's inside unless you look under the bottom. Overall, I think they're good. They work quick. They are definitely something you can make with a kid. I mean, they're not like earth-breaking, but I can see the uniqueness behind them. Next week, we are making Chip Hooray cookies. So, hooray! If you're interested in seeing those, join us next week. I hope you all have a good one. Bye, guys.